I don't want to make another really long video like my deer antler mounting video. So I'm going to skip the whole part where I remove the tusks from the pig. But basically, there's several ways to do that. Usually involves either cutting the top and bottom jaw off, or what most hunters do is they just peel back and dislocate the lower jaw, or peel back and all of the skin and the jowls from the lower jaw and actually saw the lower jaw off, which is a method I prefer. But anyways, once you do that, you boil the jaw for about an hour, hour and a half, then get some padded pliers, and you basically kind of roll it out of the skull, work it out, and you can see right here, most of the tusk is actually underneath the gum line in the skull itself. I mean, a good 3/4 of the tusk is inside the skull. And you can see where the gum line is right there. And these were some pretty damn big cutters. This was a big boar. But this is what I got out of it. And I've seen some tusks that, had maybe 2 inches sticking out, but underneath the gum line just had these huge rolled tusks underneath there. So, it just depends. You never know what you're going to get until you pull the teeth out. But once you pull these out, once you boil the jaw for about an hour, hour and a half, and you get the teeth out, you need to clean it up, remove the nerve from the inside of it with a pick. I usually use a dental pick to get all that out, and then I flush it out and wash it out. I let it dry a little bit, and then you need to fill these tusks, because if they're allowed to sit and age and dry unfilled, they'll start cracking apart. So you need to fill these, and you could fill them with various things. I like to use the E6000 glue, but I've seen people use epoxy and other things. In Europe, when the European Jaegers go out on their driven boar hunts and they kill their boar and they want to take the tusks out for judging, what they do is they actually get a white candle, and they melt the candle wax from the candle into these teeth and fill them like that. But whatever you choose to fill it with, just make sure you fill it with something that's either white or clear. That way it won't show from underneath, because these tusks are slightly translucent. And if you fill it with a gray or black or dark blue filler or something like that, it might show through and make the tusk look kind of dingy. So I don't do that. So I'm going to take this out to the garage, and I'm going to fill these up with glue. And as you can see here, I have the tusks in a padded vise, and I'm using E6000, and I'm just going to squeeze it on in there. Just fill them up. Put some in. Let it settle, go to the other one, put some in. Let it settle, and go to the other one, put some in. Let it settle. And you just keep doing this until you fill both the tusks up to the top. As you can see right here, I have these full of E6000, and the reason I really like this E6000 also, besides the fact that it's a really good adhesive and filler, is that it's non-expanding. I really don't like using the Gorilla Glue stuff, because that stuff really expands hard, and if you put an expanding compound inside these tusks, it could expand and actually crack or break the tusk. So you want a non-expanding filler in there. I got Baron the German Shepherd helping me out again here. And now that the glue's dried on the inside of the tusks, I'm going to spray the outside with a light coat of clear coat. And basically you want to spray this lightly, because you don't want runs or drips. Let it completely dry overnight, then flip it over, spray the other side completely, and that pretty much does it. You'll have the inside and the outside of the tusks all sealed up. And you're probably asking yourself, you know, on a pig this nice, how come I'm not doing a shoulder mount or a nice European mount with the European skull mount with it? Well, the reason for that is, you know, I have a lot of trophies on display in my house, in virtually every room too. And the one trophy my wife really despises is pig heads. She thinks they're absolutely ugly creatures, and she thinks the shoulder mounts are just super ugly and creepy, so she doesn't like them. I disagree with her. I think pigs are fantastic animals to hunt. I think they're extremely challenging to hunt. They're very intelligent and cunning animal. I think they taste absolutely fantastic. You know, and in their own way, I think they're beautiful too. But, you know, sometimes the wife has to win, and when it comes to pig shoulder mounts, she just wins. But besides the fact, you know, if you go to Europe, nobody there really does any, you know, shoulder mounts or full body mounts or even a European skull mount when it comes to pig trophies. Almost exclusively in Europe, they extract the tusks and mount these on a plaque as a trophy. Now, one of the main reasons for doing this is that their measuring system for determining trophies and grading trophies goes by the length of an extracted tusk. So in order to have their trophy scored, they have to extract the tusks out of the animal and get a measurement that way. And so that's why predominantly in Europe, wild boar trophies are displayed with the tusks on a plaque. Now, when it comes to gathering supplies to mount your tusks, you know, you can get these nice plaques at any craft store, you know, like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you know, and they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes for doing this. You know, you can even mount it on a piece of pine. You know, there's a lot of options here. Or, you know, you can go on eBay or Amazon, I believe, but and you can order plaques with different woods. You know, you can order some nice walnut plaques. You can order a nice oak plaque like this. You know, it's even stained for you, and they pre-drill a mounting hole in it for you. You know, so there's a lot of options when you buy plaques to mount the tusks on. You know, and they're relatively cheap too. But for this project, since I shot this boar in the oak savannas of Central California, I'm going to mount it on a nice piece of oak. You know, and there's many different options if you go on eBay in foreign countries for some really nice carved plaques for your mount. You know, for instance, I believe I ordered this one off of eBay, and I believe this one came from Estonia or something like that. You know, I ordered it. I had it at my house in about 2 weeks, and I liked it so much I ordered a couple more of these and put some tusks on that. You know, and you can order this one. I think this mount came from Germany. You know, so there's a lot of options if you go on eBay for stuff like that. Also, with the mounting hardware, you know, I like to order these off of eBay. These are tusks holders, basically, you know, and they screw on to the plaque and hold the tusk in place. Well, actually, they don't hold the tusks in place. The tusks are glued to this plaque. This just covers up the joint of the tusks. Just a decorative touch. But, you know, you can order these off of eBay, and you can see that right now. Also, if you search around eBay, you can do it European style. The Europeans like to get the silver leaf, and after they glue the tusk to the plaque, they like to lay this really nice silver leaf in here. You know, they basically tack it down and fold it over. You know, and you can buy various different styles. You can buy oak leaves or maple, you know, and I believe there's even boar heads and deer heads and a lot of different styles of this silver leaf that they use pretty frequently over there. So, you know, you have a lot of options for materials to use in your mount. But, you know, I have this oak oak leaves with acorns trim. And this is a piece of wood. It's a wood piece of trim that I stained, and I bought these off of Amazon. And I'm going to use this on this project too as an additional accent. So what I'm doing here is I'm placing the tusks on the mount, kind of how I want them. I'll place the joint cover over it. And roughly that's kind of what I want right there. And then of course I'll add a trim piece up there, something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and peel this off right here, and that's exactly where I want it. So I'm going to make a mark on the board, on the plaque, exactly where this hole is right here, and I'm going to drill a hole in it. So this mount is done, and here's the finished product right here. You can see this wood oak leaf and acorn accent really added a nice touch to it. And I really like these oak leaf tusk keepers that I ordered off of eBay. So that's pretty much how you mount boar tusks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.